all the girls in the neighborhood and made a pie.
Greetings, Lighthead here. And, I mean, oh god. Oh god. Oh god, oh god. It's, I mean, just, that's just wrong. It's just wrong, isn't it? It's just, what's wrong? Such an icon. Such stories, such adventure, such villains, such femme fatalism, such bull. I speak, painfully, of course, of James Bond being sold to Amazon. Okay, composure. James Bond, the man all men wish they could be, is being sold off like an ancient relic to the last, and I mean absolute last, place it should be sold to. Who could be worse than Amazon? Who made Velma? Warner Brothers? Yeah, maybe they could be fractionally worse. Hell, give it to me. I'll take it. I wouldn't disrespect the source material. I'd keep it on the straight and narrow with a Bond that represents what he's always been, and not the mopey, "Well, I'm sad because some lying, cheating, stealing woman I banged for a week died years ago, and now I want to die because I can't bang the non-entity mother of my non-entity kid who I walked out on in the first place because she too is a lying, cheating scumbag. And oh yeah, nanobots." No, mine would be the best bits of Connery, Moore, Dalton, Brosnan, and the books. And no, David Niven was a great guy, but his spoof version doesn't count. And George Lazenby certainly doesn't count.
No, son.
But fortunately, we only got one of those, and we can mostly forget it ever happened. Look, he's so cool! Jimmy B. Jimbo Bondo, J. Bondy Baby, is being sold to Ernst Stavro Blofeld.
I am Ernst Stavro Blofeld.
The bad guys won. It wasn't enough for Daniel Craig's caricature-level inflated ego to kill Bond in some poxy, lazily written missile strike just so he doesn't have to make another film and can continue being a millionaire making crap films. Poor you. No, it wasn't enough to make him the mopiest, most miserable, humorless goon he's ever been depicted as. Thanks a bunch, Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson. You know what Joey Swall would say to this flim-flam nonsense?
You need to do better.
Teach them to be better, Jerry. Look how cool he is! God damn it. I, like many of you, grew up watching Jimbo shoot bad guys and bang hotties. He was the man. The freaking man. He had a million brilliant gadgets that, okay, just happened to suit whatever situation he found himself in, but that was part of the charm.
An ordinary black leather case with 20 rounds of ammunition here and here.
A perfectly adequate watchmaker just down the street. Good God.
Perfect image, Q.
And the cars. Oh my, the cars. Oh my god, look at it. I want it. Oh, it's so amazing. Look at it. Oh, what a thing of beauty that is. Oh god, it gives me the tingles. And now what do we have to look forward to? Have you considered the dark, sterile places this change of scene opens up? Bloody hell, I have. Just look at what Amazon did to Rings of Power. So damn cool. What comes first in the cavalcade of despair? Well, let's see, shall we? Oh look, spin-offs. Endless spin-offs. Do you fancy watching Q, Tinker Tailor Gay Mona? No. What about Moneypenny's Bridget Jones-style dating larks? Oh, how will she ever find a boyfriend? No. What about M stands for menopause? It's all going to be utter garbage, written by the same clueless, inexperienced hacks who have made a mockery of our other beloved IPs, and who, inevitably as we see everywhere these days, will wedge their hollow, nonsensical and fascist socio-political rhetoric into it with a covered crowbar. He's the Don! Don't think this is going to be some sort of Bond fantasy where he simply saves the day in spectacular style. No, no, no. It'll be Jane Bond stars in Diamonds Are Nice Forever, but what else can I get out of him? And it'll be a black female 007. Oh no, they did that already. Okay. A black Bond, diatribing about how he had to work his way up off the streets by assassinating rich, white, privileged, heterosexual men as he gets off with a strikingly handsome, woke, ambiguous spy named Jean Dongworthy. What about the big, or bigger, budget films? I'll never say movie! Who can we expect to see in those travesties? It's been said of late that Idris Elba won't be getting a look in because Amazon intends to keep Bond the same white guy he's always been. But let's be honest, something's going to go wrong. It always does. Personally, I don't rate Idris Elba. I make no bones about it. I find him arrogant and insufferable. And here's why.
Turn it up a bit. In the headphones, in the house and the whip. Table looking like an off license. Lay low pack, got the license. Wanna zoo on the roof cause I can. By the way, AJ is my guy, sorry Tyson.
Hell no! We get no, the bullshit and you know that. Ain't nobody killing these vibes, we control that. Table looking like a bunch of millionaires, man. Black star flag in the air.
Fantastic job, and I think you look amazing in your matching outfits.
Who the hell are you?
Bad guy.
Compare him to Laurence Olivier and tell me he's a good actor.
And I like one lost in a thorny wood, that rends the thorns and is rent with the thorns.
Compare his, and I'm loath to use the term because it's dripping with his ego, but his rapping.
I came to rap it up, do my thing. Sabi put me on the gram and a remix thing.
With genuinely good rappers like Nas. Well, okay. Early Nas. Is it good? No. I think Idris needs to go back to DJing and leave our prized national heritage alone. Look how manly! Who else? Well, I have no qualms about being honest despite the fallout. And this one's going to be nuclear. But I refuse to kowtow, so here goes. I don't rate the current favourite contender, Henry Cavill. Look, you're entitled to your opinions, which means I'm damn well entitled to my opinions too, and he's a plank of wood. Don't believe me?
I have to go to Gotham to convince him to help me, or he has to die. No one stays good in this world.
Bruce, please. I was wrong. You have to listen to me. Find him!
Same argument. Laurence Olivier?
Seeking a way and straying from the way, not knowing how to find the open air, but toiling desperately to find it out, torment myself to catch the English crown!
Compare them. Better, worse. Better, worse. Obviously worse. He was terrible as Superman, bland, stiff, lacking in emotion or vim. Just a big wooden plank of wood moping around between tame action sequences. And yes, I've seen his other stuff and it's just as bad. Maybe if everybody stopped jumping on every single bandwagon that comes our way, we'd have a clearer idea of who James Bond even is. And for those of you that never read the books, Sean Connery's Dr. No Casino Scene version and Timothy Dalton's versions were miles closer than anyone else's. They're really good. Especially From Russia With Love, which to my mind is also the best film version. I'd give my right teeth to be this cool! What is this endless rush to take massive, bowel-emptying dumps on our beloved IPs? Why can't these massive companies stop employing woke hacks and instead employ talented people to write their stories for them? Is it that hard to grasp that if the stuff you make is good, it will be successful and won't be mocked and disregarded by the entire world? But to the greedy, the allure of more wealth is completely irresistible, and so Bond will go the way of all the other wonderful, imagination-sparking heroes that have been gang-banged to death in recent years. Yeah, It's time to join Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Star Trek, and everything by Tolkien in the Diddy pit. Cool and deadly at the same time. The one slight sliver of hope I've managed to drag from the cesspit of Bond's immediate future lies with a particular fan favourite, Pierce Brosnan. People genuinely liked him as Bond. GoldenEye was fantastic. Okay, so all the other Bond iterations that he did were terrible, but that wasn't his fault. He did the best with the tripe he was given. But GoldenEye rocked us all. I want to be Bond captures something of that. He'd have to be an older Bond dragged out of retirement, which is quite a cliché, obviously. But he could easily cram as much ham and cheese into that film role as he liked, and we'd eat it up, delighting us the way he always did with his quippy retorts and wry smile. Make that version of Bond if you have to. Just leave the rest of it alone. I don't know why I bother saying that. They won't. They don't know how to stop being hacks any more than I know how to stop being sarcastic. Make me Bond, Lord!
You get what you want.
Ultimately,
I would say something about how it's important to exercise one's imagination, integrity, and bravery where writing new IPs is involved. I would talk about how James Bond is something approaching sacred because of the way he lives in all our hearts. And loins. I would. But to be honest, my heart is just too damn heavy. I fear that old Jimbo B is off to the glue factory with all the other workhorses, and that Amazon, Spectre-like as they appear to be, will just go on to find other beloved characters to diddle. Unless, of course, someone stops them. Unless someone calls out and says, no. That says we will no longer consume any more lazy, worthless, soul-destroying rubbish, and the only people to my mind who can stop them, the only ones with the sheer numbers and the power to change the world, are all of you. Like and subscribe! Incidentally, I would also like to thank the new subscribers that I've now found on YouTube. Thank you very kindly for joining. I am very appreciative. I also appreciate the fact that I am not actually trying to eat my microphone, but that it does sound that way a little at times. And I've implemented new methods using advanced technologies in order to try and undo the whole sort of Bane speak that I've been getting until recently. Do bear with me.